What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for tuning in. It's me, Mikey Pipes. Saturday night, January 4th, 2025. Heading on my first emergency service call of the evening. We have a new residential client. They have a Burnham gas-fired boiler, and they have absolutely no heat in the house whatsoever. When you call Pipe Doctor Home Services at 516-348-6300, you're going to get a real human being on the phone. We're going to try to help you over the phone. And if we can't, we're going to come out to your home or place of business with a fully stocked truck, prepared to get the job done in one trip. Let's go see what's going on there and bring some warmth to this family. Good evening. Hi, I'm Mike.
Hi.
Here's my card.
Okay,
And a sticker. Everyone loves stickers. I understand you have no heat.
No heat.
Okay, lead the way to the boiler.
It only goes out on the cold days, right?
That's sometimes what happens.
I can move this stuff over here.
Have you tried to do anything or no?
I flipped the switch,
Which was on already?
which was on, turned it off, turned it back on. The lights are on the boiler, but it's
And you have hot water, correct?
have hot water, yep.
Seems like it's running.
All I know since I've lived here, nothing.
1992. 2020. Okay, so no maintenance?
But,
Really? Okay. Do you drive your car forever without changing the oil?
pretty much.
Yeah. Wow. You know, I've never seen anyone put the box inside
So
the
actually,
boiler.
The only thing I've done is
Jesus.
was that the only thing I did is I upgraded to smart thermostats,
Yeah.
and the electrician.
When was that?
When was that?
Yeah.
Uh,
Not recently. Not like
no, like
years ago.
2 years ago.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Let's see if we see a pilot. Actually, let's take this off of there. Let's see what we see in there. Well, looks like you got a pilot. And fairly clean, too. Surprising. Okay.
Self-maintaining.
What's that?
Self-maintaining.
Yeah, it's like a self-cleaning boiler. Not really, but it's surprisingly clean, which is a big surprise. Let's see if I can get that screw back in there and see why this thing turned off. All right, get the tools. All right, let's try this first. Blocked vent switch. Hopefully his chimney is not collapsed upon itself. We're gonna have to drill a hole and do a combustion analysis and draft analysis. You know what, before this thing gets too hot, let's take a peek. Let's take a peek. Yeah, you got some partial collapse there. Partial collapse, so no chimney liner. All right, power's back on, vent is reconnected. Let's let this damper open up. And we have ignition. Let's let this fire up for a little bit. Let me get my combustion analyzer, drill a hole, and make sure she's burning safely. All right, I drilled a hole in the flue. Let's put our probe in the center of the flue pipe. And let's see what kind of numbers we're working with. I'll let this settle for about 5 minutes. All right, we have adequate numbers here. Let's pull the probe out. Let's do a draft test. Okay. Zeroed out. Back in there about halfway. And there are some that say the hole should not be there, it needs to be after the diverter. I was trained to have the hole there, but for shits and giggles, I'm gonna drill a hole over there and we'll test the draft after the diverter. All right, let's clipboard this. And let's just see what we have over there. There it is. She's the same. Oh, messing with that damper. Put you back over there. I pushed on the damper. Drilled the hole too close. So I hit the damper. It's gonna power cycle back open now. No worries, because the end switch was interrupted when I pushed on the damper, on the automatic vent damper. Okay. I am going to recommend we change that though. Suspect. See? And that's why you drill your hole there. You don't need it to be there. Right there. Before the diverter, one hole for combustion and draft. Alright, the new black vent switch is installed. I put new crimp connectors on there. On the actual spill switch itself. Did a combustion and draft analysis. There's the print of the results right in front of the boiler. We good for now. He needs a chimney liner. You ready for your diagnosis? Okay. So this doodad right here. That's your souvenir. That senses if there is a blocked chimney or if the exhaust gases are not going into the chimney and they're coming out of this little diverter here, which is where that is mounted to. When I touched it, it came back on after some manipulating of it. The wires going to are also frayed. So once I got that taken care of by putting a new one on, I removed the flue piping to inspect the bottom of the chimney because, listen, it's an older home, and when you see a separate pipe going for your water heater and a separate pipe going for your chimney, chances are you don't have a stainless steel liner in the chimney, which is what this requires. When this house was built, it was built with oil. The oil didn't need a stainless steel liner. It used a terracotta lining, which is what you have, which is starting to crumble. And when I remove the elbow here, look at the bottom of it, you're starting to crumble and you have some buildup at the base of the chimney. But nowhere enough to where it's going to cause that sensor to trip unless there's some other external factors like high wind. Again, you said I know you've been here at least 2 years. It's not like today was the first windy day or last night was the first windy night. It's probably the perfect storm. But that I replaced because it's not worth me coming back here and charging you again, or why didn't I replace it when I was here? Because it was suspect to begin with. But I did do a combustion and draft analysis. It's basically a fancy way of saying I checked to make sure it's burning properly. And the carbon monoxide levels, which they all produce, are minimal, which it is. Even if this boiler was not connected to a chimney, the amount of carbon monoxide coming out of this would not do anything to this home. Yes, you may get some flu-like symptoms, but it's not going to murder you, right? And the results of those tests, that test is right there. You need to call a chimney company, and you should install a stainless steel liner in your chimney. The boiler overall is very clean. So kudos to whatever you've not been doing. Consider yourself very fortunate.
Okay.
Everything else is okay. You know, there's every boiler install is like a work of art, and everyone's slightly different. There are certain things on that way this boiler was done which should not be done, like that green box that's inside this cover. That should not be there because the heat that potentially could be there would kill that thing like in the perfect storm.
Okay.
So I did it. It's called the blocked vent switch, also known as a spill switch. It senses exhaust gas is spilling out of the.
It's like a safety method.
Yes, and this boiler has a few of them.
That's good.
That's one of them.
Okay.
All right, I did replace that, and it's running fine. You just should call it Chimney Company.
Okay.
And if this does, and I'll show you on this, but if it does go out again, or if you have no heat and whatever, similar to what's there now is that a little round button between these two.
Okay. Oh, you press that?
Yeah, and you'll hear a click. Right now you don't hear the click.
Okay.
But it senses heat. So if I were to take a flame or a match of this, you know, then we'd be able to click it again, but it's whatever. It took several me pushing on it for it to go.
Okay.
Any other questions? Ladies and gentlemen, the service call that you just watched is a perfect example of why, if you're in the plumbing and HVAC industry, working on heating equipment such as the Burnham boiler I just worked on, you need to be testing with a combustion analyzer. I am going to sleep very, very good tonight, knowing that, God forbid, something should happen there. The boiler's burning proper. It's good. You don't have crazy amounts of carbon dioxide, and I know because I wasn't guessing, I was testing. If you live in the Long Island, New York City metropolitan area, and you're tired of getting bamboozled by your HVAC company, pretending to do tune-ups and cleanups and cleanings of your system and not doing nothing like what I just did during a normal service call, you need to pick up the phone and call me at 516-348-6300 or save time. Book online at pipedoc.net. My office is located in New York at 1010 Central Avenue in Woodmere in Nassau County on Long Island. I'd love to help you. Pick up the phone. Call me now. Catch you in the next one. Be well. God bless. Stay safe.